So in this class, I'll be talking about duality in linear programming problems, which was left when I was talking about linear programming problems. Okay. So what is duality? So see, there is for every linear programming problem, there is another related linear programming problem. Okay, so for every linear programming problem you can derive another linear programming problem. So the original linear programming problem will be known as primal problem, and the derived one will be known as dual. Look at the example here. Let's suppose there is a problem like maximize z is equal to c1 x1 plus c2 x2 and so on, subjected to a11 x1 plus a12 x2 and which is less than b1, a21 x1 plus a22 x2 and so on less than b2. Similarly, am1 x1 plus am2 x2 and so on is less than bm1. So this is a linear programming problem. So there must be another linear programming problem related to this. So this will be considered as primal. So its dual will exist. Now, what will be the dual? So look at here, the max, because it is a maximized problem. So the dual of maximization will be minimization. Okay. Similarly, if the primal is minimization, then the dual will be maximization. Now, see here, W, we have denoted it as W. So W is equal to, we have taken other variables, we have supposed other variables like by 1, by 2, by 3 and by M, up to by M. How many variables we have taken? As many you have constraints. Look at here, how many constraints we have? So this is first, second, third and like that up to M it is, right? So there are total M constraints, so that's why there will be M variables. Okay, and b1, b2, b3, look at these coefficients in the objective function. They are the right hand side of the constraints. Okay, so the right hand side of the constraints has become the coefficients of the objective function in the dual. Clear? So the question may be asked that they may ask, is it true or is it false? So they will ask that the right hand side of the constraints of in the primal LPP becomes the coefficient in the coefficients in the objective function of dual LPP. So yes, it is true. So they become like that. Now what about this C1, C2, where they will go? Where they are going? So look at here. These objective, coefficients of objective function, they have become what? They have become the right hand side of the constraints of the dual. So just they have exchanged their places. Clear? Now one more thing. See, this is a maximization problem. So all the constraints will be of negative of less than equal to sign, right? If it is a minimization, then all the constraints will be of greater than equal to sign. Clear? Now what about a1, a2, a11, a12? What will happen to them? So look at here. This is a11, this is a12, a3, a13. They have come in the vertical direction. Means that this first row has become the first column. A11, a12 like that. Right? Similarly, the second row has become the second column in the dual. So basically what is happening, if you have studied transpose, if you have studied matrix, so there you have seen transpose of a matrix. So what we do in the transpose? So basically the row will become the column and the column will become the row. Correct? So the first row will become the first column, second row will become the second column, third row will become the third column. So this is what is known as transpose of the matrix. So basically here all the coefficients of the constraints, which are a11, a12, a13 and so on, a21, a22, a23, they will become, the first row will become the first column, second row will become the second column and so on. Okay. So this is how you can convert a primal problem into a dual problem. Okay, so these are the rules which are written that if the primal contains n variables and m constraints, then dual will contain m variables and m constraints. As I have told, look at here. Earlier, how many constraints were there? 1, 2, up to m. These many constraints. So this has become variables now. M variables, right? In the dual. Correct? Now look at here. How many variables are there in the primal? x1, x2, x3 up to xn. So that has become that many constraints. Okay, so they will exchange. The variable and constraint both will change its position. Okay, as many variables in the primal, that many constraints in the dual. Similarly, as many constraints in the primal, that many variables in the dual. Now, the maximization problem in the primal becomes the minimization problem in the dual, and vice versa. मैंने बताया maximization problem has less than equal to constraint. We know that, right? From the very beginning, we know this. Maximization problem has less than equal to constraints. Okay, look at here. All the constraints are less than equal to. So, in minimization, they will become greater than equal to. So that will just exchange its places. Correct. The coefficient matrix is transpose of the primal. The coefficient matrix of the constraints of the dual is transpose of the primal. So what we have told, first row will become first column, second row will become the second column, correct? So in that way. A new set of variables appear in the dual. Yes, because by 1, by 2 are the new variables, they are not in the primal. The constants c1, c2, c3 and cn in the objective function appear in the right hand side. As I have told, the coefficients of the objective function will become the right hand side in the dual. Similarly, the right hand side of the primal will become the coefficients of objective function in the dual. Correct? That is what. The variables in both problems are non-negative. Yeah, this is common because linear programming problem, the is the condition that all the variables c1, c2, look at here, in the primal x1, x2, x3, in the dual by 1, by 2, by 3, all the variables must be greater than equal to 0 as mentioned here. So this is how it is constructed. Now you may be asking that why we are doing this kind of job, converting from one form to another form. What is the use? So actually there are several uses of dual. So first use, very important use, reduction in computational time of linear programming problem. So yes, in many cases it is going to reduce the computational time in case of LPP. So we can see one example, and through that example we will understand that. So let us see that there is a problem of minimization. Z is equal to how many variables? So actually x1, x2, they are the decision variables. These are the slack variables. Okay, so all the surplus variables, because it is minus, right? So these are minus, so they are the surplus variable they are given. Okay, I have not given the original problem. It's a after adding surplus variable, this is shown here. Okay, so we have only two decision variables. Now because surplus variable is there, so there must be artificial variable we have to include. So we have to add 4 artificial variables here. Okay, so now you can see how much big it is. Okay, now when you find the initial solution table, this is how, and after that you have to do the iteration one by one, like that, correct? So while doing, because look at the massive number of the contents of this matrix, so it requires a lot of calculations. When you will continue with this solution, then it will require a lot of calculation and it will consume a lot of time. So to avoid what we have done, we have converted it into a dual problem. So this is the problem which is given, and that has been converted into this problem. Okay, so look at here what we have done. So minimization will be converted into maximization. z into w. These are the coefficients, right? So these coefficients of objective functions, they are going to be the right hand side of the dual. So they have come here, look at here, correct? Acha, this is greater than equal to sign, so this will become the less than equal to sign. Okay, now these RHS values, they are going to become the coefficient in the objective function. So 0.4 by 1, 0.6 by 2, 2 by 3, 1.8 by 4, correct? Now this row will become the column 0.0, 1, 0.1 and 0. This row will become second column, so 0 and 0.1, this has come here. Here third row 0.1, 0.2, that has come to the third column 0.1, 0.2, correct? So in that way this has been converted. Now look at here, there are only two constraints. Here how many constraints? There are 4 constraints. Now if you see, if you just add the slack variables, because it is less than equal to type, so it slack variable will be added, okay, and then we can maximize. And you see the size of the table, only 2 columns are there, s1 and s2 basic variables, but in this case you see basic variables are total 4 and a lot of calculations will be involved. Here very less amount of calculation will be involved, correct? Second point is that look at here, earlier it was greater than equal to type. That means you have to add what? Surplus variables. And if you have added surplus variable, that means you have to define new artificial variables. So it increases a lot of kind of artificial variables problem. So to avoid this, see, this has been converted into less than equal to type, and it is much easier to solve this problem. Clear? So that is the benefit of using dual. So understood? There are several other okay, now we can solve this problem. After that it is much easier. You can just continue doing this and you will get the values by 1, by 2, by 3 and by 4 optimal basic. So W max will be equal to this much. Now this is the maximum of what? W. So this will be equal to Z minimum, right? This will be equal to Z minimum, and that is what we wanted, right? Minimize Z. So if you get maximized W, then you will be equal, that will be equal to minimum of Z. Okay, so that is our objective. There are some other benefits also, because see, the dual gives more information, additional information about the optimal solution, about how the optimal solution changes when there are some parameters in the LPP that is changed. So that is going to help in sensitivity analysis. So actually in this class I am not going to discuss about this sensitivity analysis, but that is there in the syllabus. So in next class or maybe other classes I will be sharing this about sensitivity analysis. Okay. Now there is another one, to check the accuracy of primal solution. So if you can find out the dual, and if you are getting a appropriate solution, that means the primal solution is also okay. Okay. It is used to solve the LPP in which the initial solution is infeasible. Look at here, this is the same problem, right? It is talking about this. See, when you have already put surplus variables, when you will x1 and x2, if you make it as 0, in that case s1 will become negative, s2 will become negative, and all these values will become negative. So that has not to be happening, correct? All the variables value must be greater than equal to 0. So it is violating this non-negativity principle. That means it is having infeasible solution. So if it is having infeasible solution, that's why we have added artificial variable, isn't it? So if it is having infeasible solutions, so immediately it can be converted into dual, and we will get the feasible, basic feasible solutions, correct? So that's why it is used to solve the LPP in which the initial solution is infeasible. Understood? Okay. Now let us take some problems and construct the dual of the primal problem. So this is the problem which is given and we have to convert it into dual. Okay, simple. What we have to do? W is equal to what we will write. So objective function in the dual, objective function of the dual, this part, which one will come? RHS will come here. So RHS has come, right? So maximize it is, minimize it has become. Okay, next this 3 and 5 that will go in the right side and it will become greater than or equal to 0. Okay. And 2 and 6 will become the column, 3 2 column, 5 and minus 3 column in this way. Okay, and the last one in this case is x2. So x1 is 0, coefficient of x1 is 0, so that is what here it will become 0 and 1. Okay, second problem, this is 1. Now in this problem there is a problem. What is the problem? This is minimization, so all the constraints must be greater than or equal to 0, correct? Look at here, there is one equation, x1 minus 2x2 plus 5x3, which is greater than 3. Okay, and okay, this one 7x1 minus 2x2 minus x3, which is less than or equal to 10. So here is a problem. What? That this is in negative, it is less than or equal to sign. So first of all we have to convert if any constraint is less than or equal to, you have to convert it into greater than or equal to, because this is a minimization problem. Okay, so first of all that has to be converted. After that convert it into dual problem. ठीक है, तो ये 3 2 और 4 यहाँ चला आया 3, अच्छा ये 3 2 and 4, so it is minus 2, so this will be minus 2, correct? Similarly this is 7 4 and now this is minus 10, so 7 4 minus 10 and 3 and 2, so this is how we can convert. Now similar type of problem here also, because it is a maximization, so it must be less than or equal to 10, but this constraint is of greater than or equal to type, so that's why this has to be converted into less than or equal to type by multiplying negative sign, negative by multiplying with minus 1 on the both side, and after that we can easily convert into dual. Now in some cases what happens that the constraints are in equation form, which is known as a standard form, correct? So when all the constraints are equations, then that LPP is in the standard form. It is, we have already studied in the linear programming classes that how to convert any linear programming problem into a standard form. Okay, so that is what here. So if any equation is there and that has any constraint is in the form of equation, so what to do with that? Because see, look at here, as I have told, if the problem is of maximization, then all the constraint must be of less than or equal to type, but here it is equal to type. This is not desirable. So what we have to do? We have to convert this equal to sign as less than or equal to type. So what we have done, see this constraint, the first constraint can be written as less than or equal to and greater than or equal to, right? This can be written like that. Okay, so it is not possible that less than and equal to both can exist simultaneously. So among these two only equal to will be, so this can be equivalent to these two equations. Now this is already less than equal to, we have to convert this one as less than equal to. तो आपको क्या करना होगा? You have to apply minus sign here. So we have got it. Now we have introduced 3 variables, right? Because 3 constraints, so 3 variables by 1 prime, by 1 double prime, and by 2. So if you write, okay, what we will be writing? So this C1 and C2 will come in the right side. Any issue? No issue. this is maximization, so the dual will be minimization, no problem. If it is a minimization, then all the constraint must be greater than equal to type. Okay, no problem. Next, these coefficients, okay, these coefficients b1, and here it is minus b1 and then b2, all will become the coefficient, these constraints, right hand side of the constraint will become the coefficient of the objective function of the dual. So that's why they have come here. So b1 minus b1 and b2, b1 minus b1 and b2. Similarly, come here and all the this a1, a11, a12, they have come here, a11 and a12, they have become column. Here they are in row. So like that we have to convert this one. So understood? So basically okay, so now this is by 1 prime minus by 1 prime, all are common in they are common in all the equations, and by 1 prime and by 1 prime both are greater than equal to 0. ठीक है? We know that any equal to sign can be converted into any variable. Look at here, by 1 prime and by 2 by 1 double prime, both we have considered as greater than equal to 0, because you know that LPP all variable must be greater than equal to 0. ठीक है? अच्छा, can you tell me the sign of by 1 prime minus by 1 double prime? Can we tell that it is positive or it is negative or it equal to 0? No, we cannot say anything about it. Why we cannot say anything about it? Because this is by 1 prime minus by 1 double prime. We don't know that which one is greater among these two. So if by 1 prime is greater, then it will be positive, this value. And if by 1 prime is less than by 1 double prime, then it will be negative value, right? So we don't know that exactly. So it is unrestricted. You can say that unrestricted or undefined. It can be negative also, it can be positive also, it can be 0 also. So unrestricted, correct? So if we consider by 1 prime minus by 1 double prime equal to by 1, then by 1 will be what? By 1 will be unrestricted in sign. We don't know about this. Okay, so this is this shows that the dual variable which corresponds to an equality constraint must be unrestricted in sign. Okay, so look at here, for this equation we have taken by 1 as variable, so the by 1 become unrestricted in sign, and obviously by 2, because it is less than equal to sign, so by 2 will be greater than equal to sign. Okay, but by 1 will be unrestricted because we have taken it corresponding to an equation. So you have to remember this. Similarly, if there is unrestricted sign, let's suppose there is a variable which is unrestricted, then here you will get an equation. कंस्ट्रेंट में क्या मिलेगा आपको? इक्वेशन मिलने वाला. पहले हमने क्या देखा कि अगर कोई कंस्ट्रेंट इक्वेशन है तो करस्पॉन्डिंग टू दैट इक्वेशन वी आर गोइंग टू गेट ए वेरिएबल विच इज अनरिस्ट्रिक्टेड इनसाइड. But in the primal itself, if the variable is unrestricted inside, so in the dual what you are going to get? You are going to get an equation. Understood? So that is what we have to keep in mind. Example, various examples are there. Look at here, this is equal to sign. So obviously we will have second variable as unrestricted. By 2 is unrestricted. Rest everything is then. Look at here, this is so by 3 is going to be unrestricted. By 3 is unrestricted. Okay, look at here, in this case by 3 will be unrestricted, so by 3 can be unrestricted. One more thing, sorry, here it is written there are 3 constraints, so 3 variables will be there. 3 variables will be there, by 1, by 2, by 3. Okay, and look at here, x1 x2 is greater than 0, So by 1 and by 2 will be 1 second. By 1 it is minimization problem, no? So okay, the x3 is unrestricted, so x3 is unrestricted. That means in the dual the third constraint will be equal sign. That will be an equation. Look at here, the problem we are getting here. Look at here, the third equation, third constraint is an equation. Are you getting? So that is what I told, that if there is an equation, then if there is an equation in the constraints, in case of primal, then in dual it will become the corresponding variable will be unrestricted. And if in the primal itself the coefficient the variable is unrestricted, then in dual corresponding to that variable there will be one constraint and that will become equation. So that is how it happens, and nothing to worry how to change it. So simple, you follow this steps, this step which is given, dual problem when primal is in a standard. So just follow this step and come to here, you will be getting any problem it comes, you just follow that step. Okay. Okay, now there are some theorems also. The dual of the dual is known as primal. Actually it becomes primal, मतलब अगर डुअल है किसी प्राइमल का आपने डुअल निकाला और फिर उसका भी डुअल निकाला तो वो क्या बन जाएगा, वो प्राइमल बन जाएगा. तो इट इज इमटेरियल विच एलपीपी इज कॉल्ड प्राइमल एंड विच इज डुअल. मतलब किसी डुअल का जो डुअल आपने निकाला तो वो प्राइमल बन गया. तो आप मतलब आप एक दूसरे से आप बोल सकते हो कि आप किसी को भी एक प्राइमल बोलो और दूसरे को क्या बोलना होगा, डुअल बोलना होगा. तो ऐसा कुछ फिक्स नहीं है कि one is primal and another is dual. No, both another one can become primal, then the first one will be dual for the second one. ठीक है. अच्छा, the value of the objective function z is always less than equal to value of the objective function w. याद रखा, z is always less than equal to w. If primal or dual has unbounded solution, then the solution to the other problem is infeasible. ऐसा होता है कि प्राइमल का सॉल्यूशन क्या हो गया, अनबाउंडेड हो गया, तो डुअल का सॉल्यूशन क्या होने वाला है, इनफीजिबल. इफ द डुअल हैज अनबाउंडेड सॉल्यूशन देन प्राइमल विल बी हैविंग इनफीजिबल सॉल्यूशन. ठीक है. फंडामेंटल थ्योरम ऑफ डुअलिटी मैंने बता दिया कि मैक्सिमम ऑफ जेड विल बी इक्वल टू मिनिमम ऑफ डब्ल्यू और मिनिमम ऑफ जेड इज इक्वल टू मैक्सिमम ऑफ. So that is how we completed the duality. Now another section is sensitivity analysis, which I am not going to talk right now. We will be talking it in another class. Okay, so I will give that recorded class there also. So thank you very much. I am sharing the quiz. Please attempt that quiz and try to solve all those problems. Thank you.